is your most joyous or rewarding memory while teaching?
My most rewarding moment while teaching is probably just the excitement of the kids in learning the subject matter and having things click.
Seeing their eyes open and be amazed with themselves about how much they're learning and what they can do.
I think there's been a lot of really joyous moments in my career. I think getting kids excited and when they have that aha moment, when they break through and get a concept they've been struggling with or see the application of language.
Also, when students finally get something and you see the joy on their faces because they're really trying hard.
One of the most memorable moments will be when the students come in and say, "Oh, I don't have you this semester." And I'll say, "Oh, maybe next semester."
You know, my most joyous moment has to be those times when the kids get engaged in the language. Just a couple weeks ago, a student asked if they could repeat an activity because it was so much fun, but it was something that she was learning and she wanted to do it, but she wanted to repeat it to see if she could better her score.
My most memorable moments are always when I'm laughing with my students and they are able just to sort of shut me down because I'm laughing so hard.
I've been challenging my students to work more outside of class and do it not for the grade, not for credit. Say, I have all these books, they're really cool. You want to read one? And so far I've had 50 kids out of about 127 total students, 50 kids that have checked books out, read them, and reported back to me. And many of those kids, more than one, many of those have read like 6 or 7 novels on their own outside class, not for credit.
That's great.
That's an
That's a
ongoing joy. That's
That's
just
a joy.
keep it on going.
Okay, actually, well, I just had a really amazing moment recently. It was actually just before winter break, and students had been, my German 3-4 students had been working on a unit around the refugee crisis in Europe. And so it was quite a daunting unit. There was a lot of new vocabulary, a lot of new grammar structures, some really deep questions that these young people had to consider that they probably hadn't really considered before. And when we did the final speaking at the end of the unit, I was just blown away by how articulate they were and by their compassion and how well they were able to communicate on such a sensitive issue. But I was wildly impressed when I was grading their final essays over before winter break at home. And it actually brought me to tears, how beautifully they were able to articulate all this compassion that they had. And so they were using the language and articulating things that, that really moved me, that they were so mature and profound.
I just recently, a couple days ago, heard from a former cadet, now an officer, who was one of these sort of, I don't want to be here, you're not going to teach me anything, I don't want to be in this class, they're forcing me to. And it's been about 7 or 8 years since he was in my class, and he just emailed me and said, I don't know, I'd like to apologize for how I was in class. You set that spark off in me, and over the years I've thought about what you taught us about wine, and you got me interested in food, and I've been to France all these times, and I'm now currently using French, and I've fallen in love with it, and it was all because of these little tiny cultural moments, or these little teeny things that he was a kid I thought I wasn't getting through to at all.
So
and
the
just
joy was that you did.
and what it's doing for him and the doors it's opening, it's changed his career and his life, and it's just sometimes it takes years for us to
And you don't
see.
even know all the time.
Right, exactly. And that it was just a great feeling to have been a little part of that. And so that didn't happen in class, but I guess as a result of. And that's I'm still feeling excited about that right now.
And then some other memorable moment would be when their eyes bright up and shine and click. Say, I got it. And that is very encouraging to a teacher.